turn your back on him, you're out there. There's more times that God protects you than we know of. Then you're subject to all what the world could have. You and your
God
family.
didn't bring them out and protect this race of people.
Right.
The Lord and Savior couldn't have come to us, could he?
God had a, you know, his people was being personalized for a long time. It was a span from the time that Jacob, I think, went into Egypt. From the time of Moses was 400 years. And in that 400 years, the population had grown too much, and they were slaves. They put them under bondage and made them build temples for Pharaoh and everything. You know, and that hurt God. So at the time that the numbers were big, you know, here he's got these heathens that's in Canaan. I believe that God had a special time to bring them out and to take them out. Because it was time. Because they weren't keeping any commandments. And this land was set aside. This land was set aside for him, and it was promised to his people all the way back to Abraham. Now therefore, behold, the cry of the children of Israel is come unto me, and I have also seen the oppression wherewith the Egyptians oppress them. Come now, therefore, and I will send unto Pharaoh, that you mayest bring forth my people, the children of Israel, out of Egypt. And Moses said unto God, Who am I, that I should go unto Pharaoh, and that I should bring forth the children of Israel out of Egypt? And that's what a lot of us do today. When God calls us, you know, we say, who am I? I'm not worthy. I can't do that. I'm not smart enough. I don't have a good speech, or I'm not strong enough to take on these tasks. It's the same thing that Moses.
And Toby, you know, folks will say, well, I pray and ask God, you know, I want to do something. I want to be involved. And God calls somebody and gives them a job to do. I can't do that.
Right.
You know, that's like the kids, you know. You tell one of them to do this and you tell the other to do that. I want to do that, you know.
Mm-hmm. But at the same time, God will make a way for you.
Yeah.
If, you know, you're blessed when God asks you to do something, because he's putting his work into your hands. And he's putting that trust into you. And when he does that, it's not, he doesn't want to be a bear on you. You should be blessed that God chose you to be a vessel for him. You know, Moses was taught as an Egyptian in his younger years. And then here he is, another in his first 40 years. And then when he saw his people oppressed, and saw that what happened for him to leave was that he saw an Egyptian strike a Hebrew and chastise him for not working. And Moses stopped him and killed him out of rage. And he tried to show his people that, you know, that you're better than this. We need, you know, that he was at that time was going to get him out of there. But they turned on him. They said, why should we follow you? Today you slay your own, which to them, he was an Egyptian. Tomorrow, it may be us next. You know, they were saying, you could do that to us tomorrow for, you know, for what you did today. And it upset Moses to where he ran away, and he was in the desert for another 40 years. And then this is where we find him taking care of the sheep of his father-in-law. And you know, he had an education, but at the same time he hadn't used it for 40 years. So now here he is, you know, saying, who am I? And he said, certainly I will be with thee, and this shall be a token unto thee, that I have sent thee. when thou hast brought forth the people out of Egypt, ye shall serve God upon this mountain. He told him, he said, no matter what, I'm going to be with you. This is what I want you to do. He didn't say, well, I want you to take him here, here. He said, bring him to the mountain. You've been to Egypt and you've been to this mountain. You go back and you bring him here. You've done it before. He's traveled the way. And it was simple instructions. But just like Moses, God can give us a simple task, but we make it bigger than what it should be. But
sometimes God wants us to get out of our comfort zone to do His will, and we have to. Moses was surely out of his comfort zone.
Right. But at the same time, it's God called. It doesn't matter if it be in our comfort zone or not. If God calls, we need to act. And if God is, just like Moses, we'll study more. If God really wants you, He's going to really keep asking you. If He knows that you are the person. But we know that's why it takes faith and love to stay in with God. To do His work. To serve Him is to love Him. And we keep that love and we serve Him, and He'll provide the way. If you think there is no way I can get this done or be able to accomplish this kind of a task, it may be as simple as going up and talking to one soul. You might be a backward person that is just totally not in your realm to do that, and God asks you to go talk to this person. He'll make a way for you two to meet. And if you turn it aside and say, I'm not going to do it, God's putting that opportunity. And He'll work through you if you listen to Him. Being called to preach or teach or something of that sort. He'll keep pricking your heart until you either answer Him or you say yes or no. But, here we look at Moses and we see him saying, no, not me. But we see this story of how it will change when he does say yes, and how God will bless him and make him a figure that through generations after generations up till now, there's probably more people that knows Moses than they do Jesus. Sometimes, people reading and watching movies and stuff, everybody knows he's one of the biggest figures in the Bible. Movies has been made after him, and Hollywood has capitalized on his story. But at that time, Moses didn't know what he was doing, but he was just listening to God. That's why we need to listen and obey God, and God will bless you. He'll make the way. We just got to put our faith in Him. Sometimes, if it's a little hardship, we don't want to put our faith into God. If you think you got so much coming at you now, I don't need nothing else. Well, God will help you. He'll make that way. And you just got to put your faith in Him. And like I say, love Him as to serve Him, and keep your heart listening to Him, and He'll show you the way. And He's a loving God, and He's there for us.
Toby, I'd like to say one more thing before you finish. He said, "This shall be a token." That was a token to Moses that when he goes back and against the Egyptians, he's going to be with him. We all have a burning bush that we can go back to in our lives. I go back a few years, and I remember quite a few different things that God done spectacularly for me. We all have them. As Christians, we all have them that we can go back to and look to and say, this And that's what he's telling Moses, this is the